You're live.
It's okay. Keep telling the story. It takes a minute for everyone to come on.
What's the
There's a
story?
story in the Bible.
About the city that, people were going to be killed. God was going to wipe that city out if he could find 10 righteous people. He would
Yes.
spare it. I
Yes.
forget the story, but.
Well, I don't.
Come on. We are trying to convince Jessie's husband, Dave, to come on live. I asked him if we get 10 people to say he should go on live, will he do it? And now he's telling biblical stories that he cannot remember. So
good for you, Debbie. Yeah.
And I'm trying to. Heather's on. All right, Heather, do you want Dave to go live with not this time, but next time? We need 10 votes to see if we can get Dave to go on live with Jessie, in a few weeks, not tonight. So who agrees? It's in the Bible, Dave, where two or more agree.
Amen.
Yeah. So there you go, Mr. Bible.
Mr. Bible. Oh, Mr. Bible is over there on the iPad. Got to show the volume.
Hey, Heather and Karen and Julie. Heather wants you to go live, Dave. Kathy Lorenzo says hello. As you come on, we just need 10 votes. We got one so far for Dave to go live in a few weeks. So Dave is Jessie Ann's husband. He's kind of my Lori. He's behind the scenes making sure everything goes well, but he actually is married to Jessie, whereas Lori's not married to me. We got two. We got two, Dave. We got two. Just saying.
He says you go.
Sid says hello to everyone. Hey, Sid, can we get your vote? We need 8 more votes so that Dave will go on live with Jessie in a few weeks. So, Sid, what do you say? Sydney says hi. Stacy Barr's coming on next week. And Stacy said, why not? It's like he will do anything to embarrass her, right?
That's the other way around. I embarrass him.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. So
yeah, pretty much. Poor Dave.
All right. So what is it going to say? So we have, sorry, that's me. We now have, okay. So wait, we have 3. Sydney, come on, Sydney, make it 4. Kathy, come on, vote. Karen, I know you'll vote. I know you'll do it. I know you'll come through. Come
on. Do they know what they're looking for?
Well, these have been on. We have other people joining right now who have no idea what we're talking about.
That's right.
But we are trying really hard to get Dave. Oh, we got 4 to get Dave, Jessie Ann's husband, to go live with us in a few weeks. Not tonight, because we promised you something. So, I lost count. We got 4, 5, 6, right, guys? 6. Let's see. Go, Dave, Heather. Go live, Julie. Stacy, Kathy, and Tracy. All right, guys, we're halfway there. Come on, we need 5 more votes. Doesn't cost you a dime. We got 6. We got 6. Dave, you're going to be going live. You're going to be going live.
4 more. 4 more. And look at
I can say we want to do it, and you can say we want to do it. All right, we'll go on periodically and do this.
Well, I think you've done enough.
You think you're going to do it?
You're going to do it? You're going to do it with that many votes?
No. She's done enough. She's never.
She's not going to get them, he says. You're not going to get them.
I'll get them if I have to go like.
You don't know it. She'll find
okay, we got Carla Ashmore on from Tallahassee. And Carla, we need your vote. We're trying to get Dave, Jessie's husband, to go on live in just a couple weeks. And he said if we get 10 people, and we are on, oh crap, I lost track, 6. Yeah, so we need 7. Will you be the 7th, Carla? Will you do it, babe? I know we can count on your vote. Carol Ann, I know she'll vote for Dave to go live with Jessie. I know you will, Carol Ann. How are you, sweetie? Come on, come on, let's get those other votes. Come on, everyone's coming on now. All right, we got Carla. All right, we got 2 people from Tallahassee.
How many's that?
I've lost track. I keep doing that. It's 6 and then it's 7. I think we're on 7. I think we need 3 more. If I remember right. All right. All right. I know we'll get those other 3 votes. I know you're out there. Oh, we got Carol. Is that a yes or a no? You're fine with it as you agree with it, or you are? Oh, you're saying you're fine because I said, how are you? Sorry, I'm one track mind here, guys. All right. So while we have everybody, we're going to start in just a minute. And we're waiting for those 3 more votes. As people pop on, we'll urge them to vote.
I see them. I see them. I have a new system so I can see over here. I can't read it, but I can see it.
All right. Awesome. And does everybody, if you could please share, that would be great. We would love it. It's chilly over there. Sweetie, we got snow coming down. You're going to vote for me. Are you talking about for the best retailer of the year or for Dave to come on live? Right now we're focused on Dave. I don't know what she's saying, Carol Ann. Help me out, baby. The cat's got your tongue, literally. All right, we got to get started, but we will definitely continue this on. I think Jessie's getting her isomalt ready because you know she's got to use that isomalt. The heat has been on all day. Sorry. Has everybody shared? Carol Ann's voting for everything. She doesn't care. She's just voting for everything. So yeah, so we're good, Dave. You got like 2 more, I think. So awesome. Oh, Sydney's. This is how you know, like, how awesome our group is. Because, like, last week when we were talking about the Cake Masters Awards Best Retailers, and Sydney was on them, I was like, I really want Sydney to win. Now, this week, she's saying vote for Icing Images on Cake Masters Best Retailers. Well, you can vote 3 times, guys. 3 times. So you can vote for both of us. And then the third one, just hit a button.
Come over here. Dave, come over here and say hi.
I was just checking to make sure
So
you
that
can
they'll
see
vote
what
for
you're
you.
doing.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Come say hello.
Get started.
Come. Hi.
This is Dave. Don't you want to see him demo?
We do this together.
Yeah, you'll be quite surprised.
Actually, we have been surprised by everybody.
He's
All
done blown sugar. He's done blown sugar.
Oh, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. I haven't done that. So, all right, guys. So we got to get moving, guys. Heather says hi, Dave. Everyone's talking to Dave. See, you are the star, Dave. It is all you. All right, so we are live here with Jessie Anne Reilly, and Jessie has been on a bazillion times because she is awesome. Jessie, you know, the one thing that I love about you is that if you don't know it, you'll figure it out. You will find a way. And you are not afraid to try anything. And you love to teach. I need to turn my phone down. You love to teach and train people, which I love as well. It's like this passion of yours, and share all the knowledge that you have up there. And so we love to see all the things that you create. So tell us, Jessie, what are you doing for us today?
What I'm going to do for you this evening is I'm going to do an Easter dome on a cookie. And I'll show you one that I put on a stick. That's a cookie on a stick. And it's got its little Easter eggs inside of it that are chocolate. And then what I did was I put some gel around the edge, and I just dipped it, and my patterns from Icing Images on a cello sheet.
Are you using the clear cello?
I use clear. These
Awesome.
are your white prints. This is, you may not be able to see all of the design because you need to put white behind it, Jessie Ann. But I'll be showing it to you in a minute. So that's what we're using this evening.
And
We're also going to
sorry, these cello sheets were printed using an iDesigns. Is that correct?
use from you printed them for me, and I have a whole package of them, and blues and yellows and all different designs. And some of them have Easter eggs on them, and some of them just has little air bubbles. Everything that I asked them to do, they sent it in a package, and here it is. And it was so worth it.
That's awesome. All right, so you're also going to use some of that semi-isomalt stuff.
We're going to use semi-isomalt. We're not using the white. We're going to use clear. And I'm going to set that aside. We're going to use a former that's made out of metal. It is a cookie cutter. And I want to bring to everybody's attention that these are cheap metal. And you have to be very careful and cautious when you're using them. There's one side of it that's a little heavier than the other, and one that's very sharp. So we're going to use that, and this is your little image that we're going to cut it out of this. And I'm going to put the camera down in a minute, but I am also going to talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about isomalt.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna let you do that, but I'm gonna jump off screen so you can have the entire sheet, whatever it's called. That's what. So Lori's gonna go ahead and take me off, but you guys can still hear me and see me. Hey, Taisha.
Okay, so you any questions? Maybe you could stop me and just ask me the questions. There's been a couple times that I've been on, and I have been doing the domes in different shapes. And I do want to bring attention to isomalt. Sometimes you'll hear me say the word sugar. Well, where I was trained, isomalt was also called sugar. So I will make that error, but when I'm working with isomalt, it is isomalt. The other thing I want to talk to you about is that you'll go onto a lot of the tutorials on YouTube, and you'll find chefs that are making a syrup, and it's made from granulated sugar and cornstarch and water. And they will end up making a dome out of that. If you watch any of the competitions and things like that, they're not necessarily telling you it's isomalt. Usually they are making it from that. I don't recommend it. The reason I don't recommend it is that it takes on a lot of moisture, and your dome can fall before you get it to your cake designing. Isomalt is where to go with making domes, because it stays drier and does not take on the moisture, and it can be sprayed with the PME gel. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, because I've been on other demos and noticed that people have been watching that on YouTube, and they're not using isomalt. I'm using isomalt. Even if I'm talking to you tonight and I make the mistake, I call it sugar because it is a sugar substitute, and I was trained that way. Respect your sugar. Okay.
Well, so, years ago, I mean, not even that long, because I remember my daughter Jackie, when she was about 8, she competed in Sydney, I think I don't even know if she had started up by then, selling the isomalt tiles. And so Jackie had to make it with a lot of supervision, because it's dangerous to make it the old fashioned way. And, with the boiling of the isomalt, it was crazy what she had to do it. But these tiles, especially the semi tiles, were made to make your life a whole lot easier.
Yes, and I'll also comment about this product. They had a product on the market, and you know, I've been around over 30 some years playing with sugar, isomalt, different things, but they were called nibs. They didn't stay on the market very long. And the reason for it is that they did not work as well as this product. So I can't say how much it has made my life so much easier. And working with young people and even adults. So yes, I would recommend this, and the clearness of it. Tonight I'm going to fog it up a little bit, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do first is I don't know whether everybody knows what a cello sheet is, but it comes on acetate, and I use the clear. I'm going to be using the clear, but it comes in a white also, and you can have that printed. These images, Icing Images did this for me. I just went under their iPrint, picked out all these numbers, and sent them off to her staff, and they printed them up for me and sent them to me. And I appreciate that because of my non-technical brain. And like Deborah has taught me, that if I'm not using my printer all the time, then I'm going to have to clean it, I'm going to unclog it and do things. And one thing I can say about Icing Images is they will teach you that, do you need it or do you not need it? And I love that. So
I do not want you to ever buy a printer if you shouldn't have one. And I will tell you
right.
that. Many people
do. And I did, and I'd hardly use mine. And I'm always, when I do have to use it, I have to call Deborah.
You just make me feel. Otherwise, you'd use it probably all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. So what I'm going to do is I have a image here, and I'm going to put the camera down, and I'm going to cut it. And I'm doing my mise en place, which means prepare yourself before you need to, like turn your oven on if you need to, or cut your images, get your bowl ready for the dome. And I already have my cookies baked, and I already have them flooded. So it's kind of in the shape of an egg. It's supposed to be an egg.
Looks like an egg.
It is an egg.
If it looks like an egg and it's shaped like an egg, it must be an egg.
Here's one that's finished.
That's so cool.
Yes. And I want to do this so that you can actually see. You can see the print now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then it domes out, and you put your little treats and things in. Also, you can make an Easter basket and put it in there and put your little inside of it. And this is edible grass and things that you can buy, and then the little eggs that go along with it. So there's a lot of use for them other than putting them on top of the cake. So number one thing tonight is, because I'm working with a metal disc, I'm going to have to put gloves on. And I'm going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Is that close enough, do you think, Deborah?
You're zooming in right now. That's really good right there, I think.
Okay. So I have my disc. I'm going to set it on. This is my Sólo sheet down there, and I'm going to get my edible marker. I think you have these.
Yep, I'll put the link up for everybody.
Saved my life at the retreat. Gave me one. So I'm going to mark it from the outside of the former. I just like to do that. You can also do it from the inside, but I like to do it from the outside. And I'm going to get my trusty scissors and cut that out. Now I'm doing it from start to finish so that you see it done. Now, I don't like to put my fingers in the center there, so I'm just going to cut it on the line. Now, remember, while I'm doing this, it's still on the acetate, which is the backing for the sheet. And I'm going to leave a little tab down at the bottom here. So I can cut it just like that. I'm going to set this aside, and then I put those in. I'll tell you what to do with all those later on if we have time. So I'm going to get my little mat here and my Sharpie. And I'm just going to draw a little line right on there where I didn't cut. Now, if you get the sides of it mixed up and you can't tell which one is which, you just take a little water on your finger and then touch it. And if it gets sticky, which it did, then that's the side that you have your image on. So then I'm just going to take my hand right here. You see how it peels up? I got a little nick here. I didn't cut through.
You're using a pen blade too.
Yes, I am, and you have those. So I'm just going to pull that off, and I like to keep the big side up. I can't answer why. I just remember when I was experimenting on these that it worked very nice. So I'm going to set that aside. And I have a Pyrex bowl. So I'm going to take some plastic wrap. It's a big box of plastic wrap, can you tell? And I like to wrap it twice, and it is recommended to wrap it twice, and not too tight. Not too loose and not too tight. Just a little tight. Just like that. Sticks in. What I like about the Pyrex bowl is that it does, the sides of it stick down nicely. Then I'm going to take another one and I'm going to wrap it over again. Set that aside. And so that's ready. Then I'm going to take my image that I've cut and I'm going to set it nicely in central. On that. Now, I don't work with gloves, but in this case, when you're using metal, metal is a conductor, and you should always put double gloves on, and sometimes triple. The reason for that is it can conduct through, and this is going to be hot. I'm going to heat it. The temperature that I use this is 115 degrees Celsius, which is 239 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's still very hot. It looks like when you pour it, it looks like it's in the honey stage, you know, when honey is poured. So I'm going to take a little of my oil here. I'm off camera, but just a little bit on some.
Does it matter what kind of oil?
I just got a little oil on a paper towel, and I'm just using a canola oil. I use canola or vegetable oil. Don't use any flavored oils, unless you want to, but it goes right into the taste of your cookie and everything. And when I was at the retreat, some ladies commented that I use more oil than what they used to use, and I said, that's okay, that's just me. So then I put that aside, and it's oiled, and I'm going to set this right on where I've cut the image. Now the
So
image,
you're on top of the cellophane, right?
I'm on, yeah, I'm right on top of the cello sheet that I cut.
Okay. And
So-
that's on the wrap.
Okay, so the cello sheet is now on the plastic wrap. You can see that okay, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I thought I was seeing.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to the microwave to get the sugar.
All right. While she's doing that, we need 2 more votes. We would like Dave to join us live and take direction from Jessie in a few weeks. We need 2 more votes. There's 2 more, guys. If you haven't voted, just put it right up there. It's a Dave-a-thon. You know, we'll have call centers open shortly to take your calls. I'm just kidding. I heard that giggle, Dave. Just 2 more votes. Sandra, you came on. I know you haven't voted. Taisha, you haven't voted. We just need 2 yes Daves. 2 yes Daves. And has everybody shared the video or the live yet?
See how nice and clear that is?
Wait, came intelligent.
I'm just moving that around. It already has boiled and settled, and it's at 125. And it won't be long, and it'll be down to about 115. I like to put it the sugar or the isomalt. You see, I put it on a towel because I don't want the bottom to cool faster than the whole dish of isomalt. So if you can see that, see it's kind of like honey and nice and clear. So I'll check the temperature again. It's still a little too hot. Now, when I was at the retreat, I poured these and they popped at the very end. And the reason they did, I was in a hurry, and you should not be in a hurry with isomalt or any sugar because you can also get burnt.
By the way, we have 11 votes now.
We have 11 votes.
Well, that's a misconduct, sorry.
Misconduct? What does that mean?
That means you gotta start all over again.
That's they say misconducts in hockey in Canada, so he's using that term.
Ah, well, we're in America.
Yeah.
It counts. Even if the Chads are hanging, it counts.
Okay, it's cooling. It just takes a few minutes. It'll be down.
I love my Canadian friends. They keep me laughing.
I watched Heather on Sunday.
Yeah. She's amazing.
She had us all laughing.
She
So
tolerates it.
this is ready. So because this is long and in this shape, I'm not going to do the dollar thing. I'm going to pour this down here. Set that out of my way. Then very gently, I'm going to press down on this.
So as you're pressing down, it's creating air in there. Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, it's ballooning.
That's what I thought. I can kind of see it. It's hard. You can see it, the color change on it almost because of the positioning.
Yeah, so I'm going to put in here a little extra. I'm going to pour a little extra in here. I like the sides to be like in a solid. So when you're doing this, you may have to move it side to side. Must be my luck. I make all these that so many times that it won't come out. I moved the steel metal. So you have to move it around sometimes. You have to hold your mouth in a certain position. And this is going to be a little thicker than the others, but it's still draining and it's still hot. And it isn't doming very well because I put 2 loads on it, but it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to get my assistant director here to come and hold this fan over top of this before this pops on me, and I think it's going to because I put.
He's practicing live.
Around this way.
This
Come
way?
around this way. Yeah.
That's a really good job, Dave. You need to go on live.
Yeah, see?
That's all you're going to see when I do go on live.
A fan?
Well, that means he's going to do it.
I know.
So, you know, it's always really great to do, make an error on when you're doing a live for everybody to see. Because I made an error here and I moved the metal disc as we were pouring, but you get the idea. It domes up. It's got a small dome on it and it needs to cool.
Well, Heather's calling you Super Dave.
Super Dave.
Stacy says you have hands for TV, Dave.
Yeah, so you can see his fingernails and everything.
Yeah, they're much nicer than mine.
I'll get them all done up for you.
With pink.
Any color you want.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is, you can take this away. Now, I'm going to tell you something that just happened here. It deflated itself. So, but I don't believe in not doing it for you. So if we've got time, I'm going to do it again because if you put that in just for 30 seconds.
What caused that to happen?
I'll show you this because everybody should see it.
Okay. No, I think it's great when things don't go well because it
can
happen otherwise.
Yes.
And you don't know what happened then.
Well, I know what happened.
I know you know.
I popped it, but it's still good. I want to do this because everybody will want to know, now what do I do with my sugar? It's all trapped in there and it's got this and it's got that. That's a good thing because it's inside this. I'm going to cool it off. And you notice the cello sheet is right there. So it's domed, but it's domed in the opposite direction. You see? It's domed on the cello sheet rather than onto the isomalt. So what I'm going to do is go like this because it's still warm. And I'm going to get this silicone right here. And I'm going to stretch it.
So is there a problem with it going the other way or can it not be used?
Yes, I'm using it right now. See, I'm making a dome.
If you kept it in the opposite direction and continued that.
Yes, the cello sheet is on the back, and this is the isomalt. Mm-hmm. And because there's still warmth in it, and I took it off because I knew it had flattened. So now what I'm doing is that I'm forming the dome. So even if it pops, even if it's not looking right to you, you can still dome it. Now right here, I have the cello sheet and I trim that off, and then this still could go on a cookie and we can still use it. Now, if you didn't want to use it and you wanted to use this, and you can crack this, put it into your silicone and you can mix it all together. It becomes multicolors and you can use it inside of for bases, for anything. So if everybody understood what I was just saying.
Gotcha. So you can use it as a filler. You can mix it all together, even though the cello's in there, and use it as kind of filler isomalt.
Right, it just becomes colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut another image. I have to set this over here. sorry about that, but that happens.
No, it's fine. This is good because this is, you know, if you don't
Yeah.
know and you do it, then you're wondering what you did wrong, you know.
Well, it can pop,
Yeah.
and it's only it had a nice dome on it until I poured the second sugar. Well, this is a different image, but we're going to use this. This is one of your eye designs. It's got little eggs on it and little clouds. You might have to warm that
The
up.
one with the duckies on the green, I think, correct? On
Right
the
in?
grass. Duckies
Yeah.
on the grass.
Got grass. Okay, so we just mark this off.
Put it in now.
No, just wait a couple minutes. Excuse me. So when you're marking this, if you got the wrong side to it, it won't mark because it's a acetate sheet. So that's what I just did. I turned it around. We'll just cut that off. Save your scraps because I just melt them down in leftover sugar, and they become colors. Not yet, Dave. You don't have to. You don't have to heat it too much. When you're casting, this is also called casting. When you're casting your isomalt, if it's already been melted, you don't have to really bring it back to a boil. You can just bring it back to the consistency that you need it for. So then we're just going to trim this off again. And I've got gloves on and I'm not used to it, so bear with me when I'm cutting this.
All right, so Jody, hi Jody, says, have you tried this with press and seal instead of saran wrap?
I tried it with all, and press and seal, I don't recommend you use that because what happens is it'll tighten up too much and you'll do a lot of popping. It has to have some give so that the air can pop through it. And even the cheapest wrap works.
Gotcha.
But the one that has the seal on it, it didn't work for me. It became too tight.
Yeah, I think it's probably too thick, and it probably has other stuff in it.
Yes, and this has nothing but. So we're just wrapping this back up again with a little tightness. I'm just going to test the temperature of the sugar because it might still be okay. Okay, so that's set up. And we're going to take our little image here, set it central. This has some little black dots in it too, which is okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's from the print.
I see the purple ones. I don't see the black ones. I see the little, I don't know what those were. I don't remember on the design. I should look that up.
They're little green clouds, little chicks. They're little yellow chicks and little eggs. Just going to get a little more oil here.
Does anybody have questions about iDesigns and what that is? And I will put a link to it as well. Right now, I'm just looking for the actual number that she's using right now because it's really cute.
It is cute. So I'm going to set that down there. Okay.
It's pattern 288.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
So I'm just going to warm this up a little bit more. Probably past what we need, but it's better to have a little more than less. So we go through the same process, nice and clear. What time do we have? We good?
We have 12:39. I'm kidding. 7:43. You're doing great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well,
Does that confuse you?
it just takes a few minutes.
You're fine. Don't rush it.
Yeah, I was rushing it, so don't rush
Don't
it.
rush it. Don't rush it.
Don't rush it, don't rush it. So I was wondering what color. I see that Brooke, she has pink hair. I noticed Heather has purple. I was wondering, are you going for a color?
Me? No, but I'm trying to talk my mother into doing it. She's 80. She's going to be 89 in a couple of weeks. And I'm trying to, she lives in an assisted living home. And I just want her to go on that edge and just do a streak of purple.
Oh,
just to get everybody talking about it in the residence. It'll be hilarious. Because they will.
And it would look good. Not too much.
Oh, yeah. I think people will actually love it. She'll be the talk of the wing, the wing where she lives.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see June? Did you see June's hair? She's got purple in it. I think it would be hilarious.
What's her name?
June, like the
June.
month.
I like that. So we got about 117.
That's a nifty little thermometer.
114. So let's try this out again. Be very gentle. See, it pours like honey.
My luck, I put a color in it and it'll go in the opposite direction.
And then you just press down on it gently, gently, gently.
That bubble forming. That's the dome.
That's the dome.
Dome.
Don't.
Becky just arrived. She was late. We were talking about her, and now she doesn't know. You weren't there to defend yourself, Becky.
So, any questions? This is where it's hot on your fingers.
Who has questions out there? Even if they're not related to what she's doing. Oh, by the way, we have the votes for Dave. He will be coming live in a few weeks.
Oh, there you go.
So who's coming to what shows out there?
What do you want Dave to show?
I don't know. You have to come up with a curriculum for him. You're a teacher.
I can.
Tell him how to do it. See, Dave, there's actually a purpose for it because some people are afraid to do things, and they don't think they can. And they have a lot of experience in dealing with this type of artistry, but they're just afraid. So
They're just afraid of the camera.
no, they're not. They're afraid to try things.
Well,
Even
yeah.
when they don't take things out of their boxes or containers and they sit in their cabinet. So,
Well,
Bernice doesn't want to know what size that egg cutter is.
Well, the first one I had, I bent it myself. It was a round one, 6-inch. This one is a larger because the smaller ones, I'm going to pour a little substantial part right here. Just a little tad. Right there. I like to have the edges. I like a rim around the edges. You'll see the other domes that I've done. And I like the feet. Sure. We're going to get my assistant director here. Just hold it up.
Star of the next 5 with Jessie.
There we go.
So Kat said that she does that. She buys stuff and she doesn't do anything with it because she's afraid to try. And so when somebody that doesn't have experience tries it, then it gives them confidence.
Yes.
Really, really funny.
So you use your little dredging tool, not your finger, and you test your sugar. And if it's still soft, you don't move it. Okay, come down. We're going to come down real close. We got a nice dome. So like if you have edging left with your cello sheet, you just take your scissors and trim it off because we're going to decorate a cookie in a few minutes. And I'm going to pipe some of the royal icing and show you how you can just bring it all together. The cello sheet is edible and it tastes very, very good with royal icing. The same, if people are talking, I think you asked me a question, am I getting any bubbles on my, with my cello sheet? And I'm not. When I put it on buttercream or I put it on fondant, the only thing I can think about is that if somebody was getting bubbles, it would be that they have let it sit out and your buttercream or whatever it was they were putting it on was room temperature. When you apply the cello sheet to buttercream, you should have smoothed your cake and then put the cello sheet on while it's cold. And you may see some bubbles. While you do that, you just take your little paddles that you do with smoothing and smooth over it, and those will go away. Set it back in the refrigerator, and you'll find they just disappear.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to test this, and I can still press in there. So right down here, just right at the very end. It's a little warm because I second warmed it. The other thing is that it's very difficult to make the very small domes. So what I do is I do the same thing as you saw when I pulled the last one. I pour the isomalt onto the image with the metal image around it, wait until it's cool enough and pull it off, and then I form it into a dome on the smaller, very tiny ones. Okay, I think we got it here. Okay, so you see that I can touch it now, and it's some chefs like to have it still warm around the outside of it. I just prefer that it be locked up. So I'm going to pull that up, just like that. Then I'm going to take my plastic wrap. And I'm going to show you the dome.
Ooh. I love it when it's live because it's really hard in a regular picture.
It's very, very hard for you to even understand it.
Yeah.
You know, people to understand how the balloon effect comes from. Now, the reason I'm using a large bowl is you have more ballooning with a smaller egg ring. So I'm just going to set this down here in front of the fan, and I'll show you what I mean. These are some of my rings, and these are about the same size as the egg. And what I do, if I don't have the metal mold, what I do is I buy a cheap round one like this. Now this is very heavy. This is one of my entremet rings, and I squish it and pull it and heat it to the mold that I want if I don't have it. This I bought, and it's very tinny, so it can break your molds. This is one that I had. It's just an older ring that I had, and it was perfectly round. And I just took it and I bent it after I heat it, and it gave me the egg shape.
Gotcha.
And they're ones that I would just use up. Now for a dome this size, you need a bowl this size. Okay. Now, for a bowl this size, you would need to have only this size.
Gotcha.
So you see the difference on the sides? So you'd wrap this twice, and you would oil the sides, and you see the heavier part on there? That's the side that I use down onto the plastic wrap. Because this is very sharp edge, very sharp, and can cut through. So we set that isomalt out of the way. And this has some of the cello sheet. This is really pretty good because I wanted to show you this, and I don't want to be perfect. So you still have some cello sheet here and cello sheet here. And sometimes when I'm pressing down, because of the oil, you can move it. So yes, you should be very in between with the oil. You can move it. And sometimes if, depending on the amount that you're pouring, you might have some ends left. That's okay. This is a cookie that I have pre-made for you. And you see how pretty that is on there?
Did you use the same cutter to make it?
Yes.
Okay.
My cookies, possibly I didn't have them cold enough when I put them in the oven. They spread a little bit. It's the same cutter, but I wanted it to spread a little bit. And the reason for that is that I like to decorate around here, or else I put more isomalt around there after I put my little eggs on there.
Gotcha.
Would you warm this back up again? So we're going to warm that isomalt.
So Becky wanted to clarify if she has a round opening of 3.5 inches that she would want the isomalt to bulge out. She would use a 4 to 5 inch cutter as a mold. Okay,
what was that question again?
Okay, so she has an opening of a 3.5 inch. The cutter has the opening of 3.5 inch that she would want the isomalt to bulge out of. Would she use a 4 to 5 inch cutter as a mold?
Okay. You just need to heat it so it's liquefied. This is 3 inches right here.
Okay.
Okay. So does that mean that her cutter internally is 3 inches?
Yeah, 3.5 inches. And so
okay. Then if it's the other way, 3.5 inches.
So,
Right.
so the opening is 3.5 inch.
Okay, so that 3.5 inch, we take a bowl roughly to this. And what I do is I cut the image on the outside of the cutter.
Does that
Like
answer
this.
the question, Becky?
But that doesn't mean you can't cut it on the inside of the cutter. What you do is you test it first for yourself, which side you like it. Because sometimes when you're cutting it on the inside of the cutter and you put the azimuth down while it's in the ring on your bowl, that the ends of the cello sheet can curl up. So I like it cut on the outside so that my image is sitting on all the edges of the cello sheet. And then if I need to, and there's some left over, I just use my scissors and trim it if I want to. In this case, I'm not going to, because I'm going to get my royal icing, and I'm going to pipe this, and I'm going to put some little chocolate eggs in here that I did not make.
But they're the best ones ever.
They are so good. And so in order for me to know that there's room enough in here, I just set my little fellows in here, and or your treats, whatever you're treating, and it fits perfectly. Okay?
I like that it fits the bigger items, you know, not like just sprinkles.
Yes, we can do the sprinkling on something else, but we don't need to sprinkle. So I'm just going to take my you get these from Icing Images and from Semi.
Not for me. You get those from Simi, but not from me.
Oh, you don't have any? Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
just going to take a little azimuth and set it on there. And
Could you
that
leave them loose if you wanted to?
Pardon?
Could you leave them loose if you wanted to?
Yes. I just didn't want to do that in front of you in case I might break them.
That's true.
Yes, you can leave them loose. It works just fine. And then, if you wanted to, you see you can take azimuth and go all the way around the edge here, or on the edge of this, and stick it. And that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
I'm not going to do the sticking of the whole thing. I'm just going to go around here, put a little here, like Sydney does. Just a little here, a little there. A little bit here, a little bit there. Come on, Dave, sing with me. Dave's a good singer. He used to be in a gospel group. Yep.
Cool.
He used to sing in a group in the church. Okay, so see how quickly that's put together. Now I'm going to go and get my piping bag, but before I'm going to let that set for a minute. This is one I did on a cookie. See, it's a cookie, and then I put a stick on it. And this was for Valentine's Day, and then I put all these nice little sparkly things. You get these from the Sweet Chalet, and
Sweet chalet.
because when I attached this to this, and I'll show you this, I leave a little opening up there. That doesn't bother me because then I'm going to put some more isomalt on it after I put all the little sparklies on the inside of that. This is another one for Valentine's Day, and this is your cello sheet. Dropped onto okay, so this is royal that I colored, and then I cut the image of the cello sheet, and then I dropped isomalt on it with my heart cookie cutter. And then I pulled it off, and while it was still warm, I formed it. Similar to this one that I did that didn't turn out. Or I made it turn out, okay, because it was still warm. So this was still warm, so I dropped it on there, and underneath there was another cookie, and I piped it. This one here, I wanted to show you this, Debbie, about the question, does it bubble? This went right onto royal icing that had just been flooded. And it's set up. So it didn't bubble.
I love the way that it's smaller than the cookie, so you decorate it around that edge. It reminds me of those really frilly chocolate candy. Oh, look at the royal chocolate candy boxes they used to have. Now they're just hardware.
Yes.
But they were really pretty.
Okay, so I'm just getting my royal icing and pipe.
Hey, Laura, how are you, sweetie? Sorry, my clock, I don't know if you can hear that. My watch keeps telling me what time it is for some reason. Just randomly does that.
Okay, so we want to finish this up. It's got our little treats in there and say it's for Easter. So I'm just going to do this quickly. Some piping around the edging here. I know this isn't, I really don't like it not to be finished.
Yeah. Morning, Kate. We had a time change.
Yeah.
Kate's late because we had the time change and she did.
So this is just a shell border.
Uh-oh, Laura, what did you brag about today?
And so this will harden up. And it is flavored. I do recommend that you flavor your royal icing. And so there you have it.
That's so cute. I love that. Yeah. Are you able to show us the side of it?
Yep.
Like that angle? You can see how high it comes up.
Yep. And you can make them higher. That's my metal hand. I'm not nervous. It's just me. That's my hand has been strained.
Well, we can't have you
Okay.
straighten your hands.
I strained my hand.
Don't do that.
Now, what if you just wanted to do something to this here? And you're probably going to say, oh, you're going to spoil that. So you can put all your little funny things in here.
I could see my husband with that bowl and a spoon.
Yeah. Look at, see all those nice little sparklies?
Now, how do people eat that?
Well, the way that, if you have young people, they love to break things.
Okay. Me too.
And yeah. So basically what you do, well, that's not dry, so I'm going to leave that there. Here's another one. Okay. And you want to see the difference on the dome and this one. See?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, see, we got it all decorated up, and it's all in our Easter basket, waiting for the kids or the young people or adults. And I didn't make these; I bought them at the store, just so I could.
For me.
And then that other one would be in the basket. And so the other thing Before we get any farther, I do have to tell you about domes. One more thing about dome before we crack this thing. They go on the side of a cake beautifully. You don't have to put them all on the top. You can. Now, we got two pieces done from exactly the same. You put a little isomalt all around there. You attach them together.
Oh, wow.
And you can, before that, you fill one of them with whatever you want, and you can put a stick right through here.
Yeah.
You set it on the top of your cake, and you have all, you know, when you do a dome, like a regular round dome, that's what you use these for. You don't just go lay it over top. You can make the whole image on top with flowers on it, all kinds of stuff, because it's got that wonderful isomalt and that wonderful sheet on the inside. I'll tell you what the sheet on the inside does. Look at that. See how strong that is?
Wow.
It strengthens it so I can go bang, 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 bang with it, and I'm not breaking it. The reason when you asked me to test these sheets, that's what I did. I dropped them on the floor. After I seriously, and it didn't break. So it gave it strength, gave the isomalt strength. And so like when you're decorating the top of a cake and you want all that strength and that beauty, it's still wonderful to eat. You can still do all that kind of stuff, but it's got extra strength because that cello sheet is inside of it.
Wow. So I'm wondering now, like when you guys make these big old cakes and you need to put things, I guess have a base, even something like that could be a base because the isomalt has more strength to it. Does it fog as much?
No, I sprayed it. You spray it.
Okay, so just the same as any other.
Yes, spray it,
didn't make it.
with PME, and it doesn't fog. Did you ever see the cake stand that I made out with the cello sheets inside it? I made a cake stand. It's out in my laboratory. Anyway, this is the small one. This is a small dome. All I did was put the image down, put the cello sheet underneath it, pour isomalt over top of it. Then while it was still warm, I pulled it out like with the big one, and I formed it. And now it's formed, so it goes right over top of that. And you could put sparkles or whatever and finish it off, or not finish it off. Just put a stick on the end of it, and you've got a lollipop cookie. Now you want to see this broken. So let's say that's on a cookie, right?
So it does break.
Yeah, you can break it, but you notice I broke it at the weak point.
Yeah, no, I'm teasing.
And you can still eat it. See?
Yep. We believe you.
I'm not going to eat it, but I've done it before. I've eaten it in front of you. So what do I do with this now? They ask me that question. What I do with this is I melt it down in a silicone cup like this, and I mix it in with the isomalt that's already in there, and I have a color. All the colors going to come together. Then I might pour it into an image, and I save it for, you know, underneath a showpiece, underneath a piece that I'm putting on top of the cake, and it just melts down and it takes on the color of what's in the cello sheet.
That's awesome. Becky Norton just figured out how to do something with these cookies. She made these adorable cookies with her blue printer, and she needed hangers.
Mm-hmm. I saw them. Really?
There it is. Yep.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's great. Awesome.
You can take these little divvies here, pre-make them, stick them on there. Little flowers. These are just made out of royal icing.
We can see your face now, so you'll have to hold it up.
You're silly.
I remember when you first did this, you couldn't even figure that out.
I got a whole new camera setting. I'm not using my phone anymore. I went and bought a webcam. I want to be big like you. I want to be grown up.
I'm a big kid now.
There, see? And then you've got an Easter egg to go into a basket with all the other pre-made stuff, and you've made it yourself.
That's adorable, and way to make things stand out, you know, in a basket.
Yes, and it goes as soon as that dries around the edge. And if you didn't want to do that around the edge, you can just use your isomalt and then decorate it with little flowers and things, and or not. Just leave the cookie as is.
Now, Rochelle wanted to know what you made those flowers with. She liked those little flowers.
Royal. I pipe
Royal.
Flowers, all little divvies ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I have them so I can just, you know, put them on. They just dry up and put little centers in them, and then I luster them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This is great. You are so awesome.
Well,
Yep,
thank you.
watch that replay. You're going to love it. Very good. Very, very good. And Becky says, thank you. This is amazing. And she now has a way to make her hangers. And
Yes.
I see a tutorial too or live with something like that as well. And if you want to see what she's talking about, I believe she posted it on the Everything Icing Images Everything Icing Images Facebook group.
It's very beautiful cookies. Oh my goodness.
Yes. All right. Well, this is awesome. Thank you, my dear.
So I didn't overdo it. I could do a few more things, but I think that I was really not unhappy that the first dome didn't turn out.
No, I prefer that actually, because it's going to happen and people know what happened. You know, they know why, and they know, oh, okay, this is what I can do now. So I like realistic demos, not the ones that are absolutely perfect that nobody can ever achieve the first time.
Also, you remember iDesigns. I mean, I went in there and I just went nuts. I just said, oh, look at these things. And you can, I've got blue ones over here, water images, and store very nicely. You keep them in the plastic wrap that they come in.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I hope I showed you something.
I think you did show us something, and everybody seems to like it. You're getting lots of wonderful comments. Everybody loves you, Jessie.
Oh, them too.
That's why you're always on with us. It's like,
Thank you.
Which are cooking up next.
And don't forget to vote for Dave.
Yeah,
So
well, we already got our votes. So, Dave, you got to do it now.
We're going to do a blown sugar demo.
There we go. So Dave, for those of you who joined us late, Dave is our husband. We had a vote. We had to get 10 votes in order to get him to come on live with Jessie in a few weeks. And we got those votes and more. And he still tried to petition whether or not those votes were valid. They were. We could see them. We all are in agreement. I don't know if Dave is in agreement, but you know.
He's still smiling.
I have to check and make sure there's no hanging chads.
He's
No
going to check the
hanging
dangling chads. There's no dangling chads anymore. We've omitted that problem.
Yeah.
Well, this is Florida now. You know, you have to be pretty careful.
I know. I get you. So, Jessie, I'll get with you privately to see people.
Yes, we'll talk about it. He can do it.
Oh, I know he could do it. If I didn't think so, I wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
So,
Wouldn't endanger his life.
he's a pretty tough guy. He can handle it.
He's a tough.
Yep. So Carol Ann did. She said you can put these type of domes and things over a picture, which is very true.
Yes. I just wanted to do something for Easter, and
Yes.
I had done something for Valentine's Day on another live, and you know that was at the retreat too, wasn't it? Valentine's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
And, you got a really good video on that when she was drawing that dome.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
saw one, and it was very good, very well done.
Yeah.
You're very
Well,
technical.
you're an artist. So,
Yeah.
Dave, we did get 2 more votes just in, so we are way over that mark. You won by a landslide.
Yeah. So
Hey,
guess what?
What? Is he going to do it?
We're going to do something very different that you've not seen ever.
I love it.
Grilled steak.
I love it.
Okay.
He says grilled steak on the barbecue.
All right. All right. We'll plan it for when I'm coming to Florida.
No,
Sounds
you know what?
good.
Another thing that we could do is we could do food images.
Yes,
it's-
we could.
It's really got all your designs inside of them, and they're
Okay.
really. It's not really a hamburger. It's
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
don't
So-
get me going. He's really nervous.
Yeah. So Stacy Barr, who's on tonight, he is an edible printing genius. He is the opposite of Jessie. And he has all these amazing ideas and technical assistant. If you have an edible printer and you want to learn, like it's almost like an advanced class, but anybody can watch this. He is on next week, and you really don't want to miss this one. I'm excited because he tells me things I don't know. So he's going to be on next week. So please mark your calendars, set your timers off. 3 of them, make sure you don't miss it, because you can ask questions on these lives. And my guess is there's going to be a lot of question asking. So be sure to join us next Tuesday as well. Also, don't forget to vote for Best Retailer of the Year for Sydney or myself, or both, because you get 3 chances. That's at AmericanCakeAwards.com / whichever way that / goes. Nominate, pretty easy to find. And I want Sid to win. Just saying. So anyway, she's blowing kisses. So anyway, all right. So Jessie, thank you so much. We look forward to having Dave on. Dave, thank you for being such a patient and what's that word? Tolerating husband.
You are very welcome. It's a pleasure.
I couldn't understand him.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure. I enjoy doing it.
Oh, good. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys. We will see you next week. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
And happy decorating. See you guys later. Thanks, Jessie. Mwah.
Thank you.
Mwah.